All right, gamers, get ready to level up because today we're going deep on a topic I know you're all about, staying fit while gaming.
Yeah. No more choosing between your health and those epic wins, right?
Exactly. We're talking dominating in both worlds.
Love it.
So we've got two awesome sources for this deep dive. How to Stay Fit While Gaming, the ultimate guide, which is like straight up gamer fuel, and Staying Healthy While Gaming, tips and recommendations, which breaks down the science behind it all.
So we've got the practical and the science nice.
Best of both worlds. Now, the first source actually features pro gamer Muhammad Al-Adam.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
And his approach is really interesting. He actually suggests working out before gaming. What do you think about that?
It's like priming your brain for action.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Like an athlete warming up before a big game, right? Get those muscles moving, blood flowing, focus sharpening.
So it's not just about being physically fit. It's about getting your mind in the zone.
Absolutely. That improved blood flow delivers oxygen and nutrients to your brain, which helps with focus, reaction time, all that good stuff.
Makes sense. Now get this. He actually calls them exercise achievements. You have to unlock them before you can game.
Whoa, that's cool.
Like 50 push-ups. Boom. Achievement unlocked. Now you can play. 30 burpees. Another achievement. Turns your workout into a game itself.
I love that. Tapping into that gamer mindset, that reward system we're all hooked on. Brilliant.
Yeah. And it's not just Al-Adam. Both sources actually stress the importance of stretching. I mean, we all know how those marathon gaming sessions can be. Lower back pain, wrist pain. Ugh.
Yeah, it's not pretty. But stretching is so important for more than just avoiding pain. We're talking flexibility, mobility, stability.
Okay, break it down for me. Why is that so important, especially for us gamers?
Think of it like building a solid foundation for your character, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
Good posture, fluid movements. It's all about preventing injuries and staying in the game for the long haul.
I get it now. Makes total sense. Now, speaking of staying in the game, Al-Adam is also huge on cardio, especially when he's prepping for tournaments.
Cardio is king for a reason, right? It's not just about physical fitness. It's about mental sharpness, too.
He even said it helps him think better. How does that work?
Well, think about it. Better blood flow means your brain is getting all the good stuff it needs to make those lightning-fast decisions.
Ah, so it's like a boost for your mental endurance, like a stat in a game.
Exactly. Plus, that increased stamina helps you stay focused and sharp even during those late-night sessions. No more zoning out at the crucial moment.
Right. Now, I have to share this one tip he gave. Sneaking in burpees during those game pauses.
Whoa, what?
Like during loading screens, deaths, anything where there's a natural break.
Yeah.
Turn that downtime into workout time.
That's brilliant. Love it. I'm stealing that one.
It's all about those micro workouts, right?
Yeah.
Now, speaking of creative workouts, the Red Bull article also mentioned VR fitness. Have you ever tried that?
VR fitness. Yeah, I'm a fan. It's like the future of gaming and fitness colliding.
It sounds amazing, but does it really feel like a workout, or is it more like, just playing a game?
That's the beauty of it. It's a bit of both. They call them exergames. They trick your brain into enjoying exercise by making it super immersive and fun. And VR. Oh, VR takes it to a whole other level. You're like actually in another world, battling enemies, exploring landscapes, all while burning calories and building strength.
All right, you convinced me. I need to check this out. But hey, let's switch gears for a second and talk about something a little more down to earth. Setting up your gaming space. The Games Gen blog had some really solid advice on ergonomics.
Yeah, ergonomics are key. It's like, think of your gaming setup as a race car driver's cockpit.
Oh, interesting analogy.
Everything needs to be perfectly positioned for max performance and comfort, right? Monitor placement, chair support, even where your feet rest. All those little details matter.
And they make a huge difference in how you feel and how well you play, right?
Absolutely.
Now, one thing they really emphasized was the 20-20-20 rule for eye health. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. But why is that so important?
It's all about giving those eye muscles a break.
Right.
They get strained staring at a screen for too long.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
But what's actually happening in our eyes when we do that?
Well, think about it this way. When you stare at a screen, those muscles that control your focus are constantly working, right? Looking at something farther away allows them to relax and reset, so you can avoid eye strain, headaches, and all that not-so-fun stuff.
So it's like a mini reset for your eyes, like hitting the refresh button. So simple, yet so effective. And of course, both sources are all about staying hydrated, something I'm definitely guilty of forgetting sometimes when I'm in the zone.
It's easy to forget, but dehydration can be a real drag on your energy levels and mental clarity.
It's like trying to run your system on low power mode, right?
Exactly. And speaking of fuel, what we eat matters too, right? GamesGen had some great advice on snacking for peak gaming performance.
Yeah, I was really intrigued by that section. I'm always snacking while I game, but I'm not sure I'm always making the best choices.
Yeah, they really break down the science of why sugary snacks are not your friend. Those sugar rushes and crashes can totally throw off your game. They suggest going for snacks that provide sustained energy instead. Things like nuts, seeds, fruits, maybe even some whole grain crackers. Stuff that keeps you going without the dramatic ups and downs.
So it's like choosing the right power-ups for your character.
Right.
Fueling up strategically for optimal performance.
Exactly. It's all connected. And speaking of connection, let's talk about mental well-being. Both sources highlighted how important it is for gamers.
Yeah, totally. And GamesGen dives into this idea of setting time limits for gaming, which I have to admit I struggle with sometimes. It's so easy to get lost in a game and lose track of time.
It's all about finding that balance, right? Having those boundaries helps prevent burnout and make sure you're making time for other things that contribute to your well-being.
Like real life stuff.
Yeah. Socializing, exercise, hobbies, even just getting enough sleep, all that good stuff.
Okay, I hear you. Now, they also mentioned something about incorporating mindfulness techniques into your gaming routine. I'm not sure what they meant by that. How do you bring mindfulness to gaming?
It's about bringing awareness to the present moment, even while you're in the middle of a game.
Okay, but how do you do that?
Simple things, like taking a few deep breaths between matches to regulate your emotions and reduce stress, or practicing gratitude for those awesome moments in the game. It's like leveling up your mental resilience stat.
Ah, I get it. Training your mind to be more present and focused, even in those high-pressure gaming moments.
Exactly. And the best part, those mindfulness skills, they totally transfer to real life too, helping you manage stress and stay focused in all sorts of situations.
Now, I have to ask, have you ever experienced gaming burnout personally? I mean, we're all gamers here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those late nights, the intense competition, it can definitely take a toll if you're not careful. For me, it's all about being mindful of how much I'm playing and making sure I'm taking breaks to stretch, move around, and do other things I enjoy.
It's about that balance again, right?
Always. And it's important to remember that everyone's different. What works for one person might not work for another. The key is to find what works for you and your unique needs.
It's like figuring out the best build for your character in a game, right? Experimenting and finding what feels right. Well, I think this is a perfect place to pause for now.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
But we're not done yet. We'll be back in the next part of this deep dive to explore even more strategies for leveling up your health and well-being while gaming. Stay tuned.
So before we jumped into that break, we were talking about gaming burnout. Yeah, it's a real thing.
It can really sneak up on you.
Definitely. And, it's not always about how much you play. Sometimes it's about what you play.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Well, different games can affect this differently, right? Okay, yeah. Some games might trigger those competitive instincts and get your adrenaline pumping, while others might be more chill and relaxing.
So like choosing your game based on your mood.
Exactly. Like if you're already stressed, maybe skip that intense ranked match and go for something more laid back.
It's like choosing the right game to support your mental well-being. That's a cool way to think about it. Now, something else that both sources talked about was sleep.
Ah, sleep.
Yeah.
The gamer's nemesis.
Right. I mean, it's so easy to sacrifice sleep when you're in the middle of an epic game.
It's tempting, for sure.
Yeah.
But honestly, sleep is crucial for both our physical and mental recovery. Think of it like hitting that save button and letting your system recharge.
I like that. So what happens if we don't get enough sleep?
Well, it's like playing with a glitching system, right? Your reaction time slows down.
Yeah.
Decision-making gets fuzzy.
Yeah.
You're just not at your best.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that feeling. So are we saying, like, no more all-nighters?
All-nighters are tough, for
Yeah.
sure. It's all about balance, right?
Balance, got it.
Like, if you do have a late-night gaming session, try to compensate the next day by getting a bit more sleep. And having a consistent sleep routine can make a huge difference, even if it's just going to bed and waking up around the same time each day.
So small tweaks to our sleep habits can actually have a big impact on our gaming performance.
Absolutely. It's like optimizing your character's stats.
Right, like putting points into the sleep skill.
Exactly. And speaking of optimization, both of these sources really emphasize creating a holistic approach to well-being. It's not just about one or two things. It's about integrating healthy habits into every aspect of our lives.
It's like creating a well-rounded character build, right?
And that's a great way to put it. You're not just focusing on one stat. You're making sure all your attributes are balanced and working together.
And what's cool is that they both highlight how the same skills that make us good gamers, strategy, problem solving, perseverance, can also be applied to building healthy habits.
That's so true. It's like we can use our gaming skills to level up our real-life health.
Yeah, I love that idea. It's like we're on this side quest to become the best version of ourselves.
Exactly. And remember, it's a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, challenges and victories.
We're all works in progress, right?
Absolutely. The important thing is to keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep striving for that balance, that sweet spot where gaming and well-being come together.
Well said. Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, is there anything else from these sources that really stood out to you? Any nuggets of wisdom you want to make sure our listeners take away?
One thing that really resonated with me was this idea of bringing mindfulness into our gaming experience.
Mindfulness, we talked about that a bit earlier, but I'm still not sure I fully grasp it.
It's about bringing awareness to the present moment, even while you're in the heat of battle.
Okay, but how do you do that?
It can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths between matches, right?
Yeah.
Or noticing when you're starting to get tense or frustrated and consciously choosing to shift your mindset.
So it's about being more aware of our thoughts and feelings while we're gaming.
Exactly. And it's not just about managing stress either. Mindfulness can actually enhance our enjoyment of the game. When we're fully present, we're more likely to notice the details, appreciate the beauty, and savor the experience.
It's like switching from autopilot to manual mode, right? We're not just passively consuming the game, we're actively engaging with it on a deeper level.
I like that analogy. And the amazing thing is, those mindfulness skills we develop while gaming, they can totally transfer to other areas of our lives as well, helping us become more present, more focused, and more resilient in all sorts of situations.
So it's like we're leveling up our mental and emotional fitness along with our gaming skills. That's pretty awesome.
It is. And the more we practice those mindfulness skills, the more benefits we'll experience both in gaming and in life.
Well, I think this is a great place to take another break, but we've got one more part of this deep dive coming up, so don't go anywhere. All right, so we've talked about a lot of different strategies for staying fit while gaming.
From workouts to mindfulness, we've covered a lot of ground.
And as we were discussing this whole holistic approach, it reminded me of something the Games Gen blog emphasized.
Yeah.
Setting up your gaming space like a high-performance cockpit.
Yeah. That analogy really stuck with me, too. It's like you wouldn't expect a race car driver to perform at their best in a cramped, uncomfortable car, right?
Exactly. So why should gamers settle for anything less?
And they go into detail about all the important elements of a good ergonomic setup, like monitor placement, chair support, making sure your keyboard and mouse are positioned correctly, even where your feet should rest.
It's all about creating an environment that supports your body and your performance, right?
Absolutely. It's about optimizing every little detail for comfort, focus, and preventing injuries.
It's easy to overlook those details when you're in the zone, but it sounds like they can make a world of difference in the long run.
Think about it. Professional athletes spend hours fine-tuning their technique and equipment. Gamers should do the same.
It's like our bodies are our instruments, right? We need to treat them with care and respect.
Exactly. And, we've talked about physical activity and ergonomics, but another crucial aspect of well-being that both sources highlighted was hydration and nutrition, which I'll admit I sometimes forget about when I'm in the middle of a game.
Oh, yeah. It's so easy to get caught up in the action and forget to drink water or eat something healthy.
But even mild dehydration can impact your focus and reaction time.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's like, trying to run a car without enough fuel. You're not going to get very far, and you might even damage the engine.
So what should we be reaching for when those snack cravings hit during a gaming session?
Well, the key is to choose snacks that provide sustained energy. Avoid those sugary snacks that lead to energy crashes.
So things like nuts, seeds, fruits, maybe a protein shake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Foods that provide a slow and steady release of energy, keeping you feeling fueled and focused without the dramatic ups and downs. And of course, water. Always have a water bottle handy and sip on it regularly.
It's almost like we're treating our bodies like our in-game avatars, making sure they have the right fuel and resources to perform at their best.
That's a great way to think about it. And, throughout this whole deep dive, we've talked about so many different strategies. Physical activity, stretching, ergonomics, nutrition, hydration, sleep, mental health, mindfulness.
Wow, when you list it all out like that, it's a lot.
It is. But the thread that connects them all is self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Yeah, it's about paying attention to our bodies, our minds, and our emotions, and recognizing what we need to thrive.
Ah, I see what you mean. It's like leveling up our self-care skill.
Exactly. And the more we practice that skill, the more benefits we'll experience in all areas of our lives, not just in gaming.
So it's not about becoming some kind of health guru. It's about making small, sustainable changes that add up over time.
Exactly. And it's about being patient with ourselves, celebrating our successes, and learning from our setbacks.
You know, it's been amazing diving into this topic with you. I feel like I've learned so much, and I'm excited to put these strategies into practice.
Me too. And I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to level up their health and well-being as well.
We've given them a lot to think about and a lot of tools to try. And remember, everyone is different. What works for one person might not work for another. The key is to find what works for you and create a gaming experience that is both enjoyable and healthy.
Absolutely. And remember, taking care of yourself is the ultimate power-up.
That's a wrap on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time for another adventure in knowledge and discovery. Until then, stay curious and keep leveling up.